But daddy is a state of mind, you know what I'm saying? I'm your daddy.
Let's go.
Get up on y'all. You gonna learn today.
Daddy, chill.
Call me daddy.
Because the best way to attack the hobby is getting people that are on the fucking ground. Boots on the ground, right, Alex? Boots on the fucking ground.
True.
I mean,
I got a question for you.
yeah.
So hearing from individuals, one of the biggest things that I hear from a lot of individuals is like, why do we have autos of these 6th rounders, 5th rounders and stuff? Just give me all autos of the all-stars, all the big name players and everything, right? Like, if they're hearing that aspect, it's a double-edged sword, right? You think you can have a product with all these guys that actually sell well and still be cheap? You can't. So how would you fix that? Like, would you still have those, 6th, 7th rounders, or, in baseball, of course, it goes like 40 some rounds.
Yeah.
But and everything.
Okay, I'll give you a quick rundown here. Let's see if my OCD brain can stay with it. For Bowman, I would put all the pitchers in retail.
Yeah.
Okay. I would put all the paper in retail. So no paper in regular Bowman. So obviously, if for people listening out there in Bowman, you have three waves of Bowman. You have regular Bowman, which is a lot of the international guys. You have Bowman Chrome, and then you have Bowman Draft. Draft doesn't have retail. Bowman Chrome has megas, which is technically retail, and then regular Bowman has the blasters, and they have the retail side of things. So in regular Bowman, eliminate all paper. Okay, put all the paper color and all the pitchers in retail. Even if it's a big chase, that's fine. Like, allow people to pull those cards in retail. I hate seeing when these guys are spending $400, $500, $600 on a box chasing a Drew Jones, and somebody pulls one in retail of a Drew Jones. It's like an on-card auto, and they're like, oh, I just paid $30 for this blaster and I hit the biggest chase. Meanwhile, this guy over here spends $4,000 or $5,000 in breaks or personals and hits the big chase. Secondly, I would do what you said, is give us all the best players, right? I think what they should do is condense Bowman to 2 drops, regular Bowman and Bowman Draft. Okay. If you condense it to 2 drops, you take the best of the best in Bowman Chrome, the best of the best in regular Bowman, and you make one product. Okay. Then you can have 125 prospects in the checklist. They're all hitters or they're all studs, right? You don't have to have these guys. Sometimes I feel like Topps is reaching for players so that way every single team has an auto. We don't have to do that if you combine them. They're going to have their chases. They're going to have their players. Thirdly, that would improve the guys that don't have Bowman first autos or aren't in Bowman, like a Drew Maggi, who comes up and goes, hey, this guy doesn't have a Bowman card. Now his Topps rookie cards carry more value. People are going to have that more of a chase. Then what you can do, this is like a fourfold here. Like I said, my OCD.
This is really good. Yeah.
Okay. Then what you can do is you can limit autos in products. So if you want to load a product, you go, all right, there's only 3 autos in this case of 12. So now the autos are going to carry more value, and you can have that auto checklist be really good, and they're all numbered to 150 or less, but they're short print. There's only 3 per case. So I like Topps Cosmic. Like Cosmic, that's how it is. The autos are super hard to hit. I think, what is it, 2 or 3 per case?
Something like that.
It's short print. But getting away from, like, I hate going back to say this, but like tier 1, I'm not a big fan of it. It came out at a price that it doesn't make sense. $180, $220 a box.
Cards don't sell for that.
The cards aren't selling.
No.
When you go to a show, as you guys will probably know, you're not seeing those cards on the table. You're not seeing those in cases. Maybe you'll see a Ohtani, maybe you'll see an Acuna, but you're not seeing just the standard guys for that. So I think shortening a checklist, but you can expand the product. That's fine. Just shorten the checklist or beef the checklist up. So it's hard because I say these things, but I just don't know if they're ever going to go into effect. And I don't know, Alex, I don't know if you think those are good ideas.
Yeah, one of the ideas way back in the day that I always thought was like Panini products was combining products, putting all the inserts into one or everything. They actually did that. They made Chronicles, right?
Mhm.
You know, but Chronicles is pretty much, if you really look at it, Chronicles is insert sets and everything of the products they're not going to make full time, right?
Mhm.
They're not going to make one specific flux for this and that. And normally it's vice versa. If it's basketball, they've made the product and it's in Chronicles. Football, vice versa, and everything, right? It's kind of the same concept. You know, you combine all those good subsets and inserts and stuff people like, and the autos and everything, and you take away all the really fluff and just put it all into one major product would be good. You know, to your point about tier 1 and everything, like you'll see a few in there, but they're the bat knobs and the bat. That's the big chases in tier 1, right? Is
Yeah.
those ones, just like, you know, the lovely MLB debuts. You know, shout out to you guys, right? And you know, in the intro when you were talking about that, you know, it's bigger than people even know, right? It's
And you
huge.
pulled the first ever. That's the first ever. I don't know, dude. That's so significant.
But what I want to get at is how many Logo Man cards of there or MLB logos of people are there? There's multiples out there because they'll make them every single year after that. That debut patch, there is no more.
Nope.
None. Yeah. That is the only one that will ever be of that player.
Do you think the debut will? I said in the video, which I'm maybe like contradicting myself now, because do you think there'll be more sought after than the Superfractor autos of Bowman firsts?
No,
because I said it would supersede the Reds. I thought it's going to be second to the Superfractor auto.
It depends. Well, going back to your point, if they never had a Bowman first, yes. But if you know the baseball collectors, the prospectors and stuff, everyone goes after those Bowman firsts. Look at the super auto. I don't even know if the super autos of Trout compared to his Bowman first super, right? You know everything, because there's also multiple super rookie autos.
Yeah.
You know, there's one Bowman first. There's multiple rookie supers from different products. Right. So if they didn't have a Bowman first, I can see it, yes, but in all end all, right, I think the Bowman first will always trump it all, and I hope it starts reeling over to the football side, since you know they're going to be bringing it back too.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. I literally, my pants get moist thinking about Bowman and Topps Chrome football.
Shout out
to my God.
Making a patch.
The question I have about that was football, though, because you know they've made a precedence right now of Bowman first is in college. When they get the NFL license in 2 years, right? Are they going to do like baseball and have a Bowman first NFL, or are they just going to keep it college?
I don't know. That's a good question. Yeah. I didn't think about that.
They're kind of doing Bowman first now with the college.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. Yeah,
and those, surprisingly, those do kind of move.
Oh
yeah,
the Bowman
now that they're licensed,
doing hot.
Yeah, those move pretty well. I don't know.
But when they get the NFL license, are they going to switch it to the NFL? And then
I'd have to imagine.
College?
Yeah, but I think they'll still keep the Bowman U first,
I agree.
and then once it's a NFL, it'll just be Bowman. It'll be Bowman's best, or Bowman,
or maybe Bowman first,
just Bowman, just regular Bowman, and then it's going to be rookie cards.
Maybe they'll have to do some sort of like Bowman University and then Bowman Chrome.
Yeah,
just plain Bowman.
I can't wait, man. X refractors. Oh my God,
bring them back. Yeah. I do think, to your question, I think there is a potential that it could trump at some point. Especially there's only 91, right?
Yeah,
and like you said, the high-end people want what they can't have. And this is maybe the ultimate in that in baseball. I know there is only one of one super, but like this one, what I like the Fanatics is trying to do in this moment is to bring fans back closer to the game, not with just like event use bullshit, or you read the back, this is not from any particular player, which is mind-numbing. Any particular player, event, like, cool. So I'm just gonna send them this shirt and they can put it in a card next week. But
yeah, it's Walmart used.
Yeah,
Walmart used. But to say for Volpe, if you're gonna chase in the rest of your life, to know that like this one patch was from the game, that he got called up, like that's crazy. And the fact that they made it have this nice high-end feel with the gold foliage and the on-card art, I don't know, man. That could eventually. Think about it this way: like if Trout had that right now, do you think that would do better or worse than the Super? And I think it might do better.
I think the best one to have, and this is This is coming from a left-handed player. Okay, I grew up playing baseball my whole life. I idolized Ken Griffey Jr. I think Ken Griffey Jr. would be the best one to have. That's just my opinion. Just because
God, yes.
I emulated his swing as a kid. Ken Griffey Jr. baseball was my life. And I agree. Like if in 15 years Anthony Volpe if he's Jeter 2.0, let's just say best case scenario, he's Jeter 2.0. That card is probably $500,000.
Yeah,
maybe more.
I mean,
like the Jason Dominguez. Sorry to cut you off.
No,
real quick.
You're good. The
Jason Dominguez next year, he'll have. So next year it'll be Dominguez and Ellie, which is going to be a fucking chase. You thought this year, next year is going to be wild. Jason Dominguez hit a home run with that patch on in his debut. That right there is like you said, it's bringing
you closer.
It's like story and personalizing everything together. And Alex, I'm going to get to you real quick. I have to say before, because I want to touch on what Ryan said. Holding the card in your hand, I held it in my hand, by the way. It's nothing like you've ever seen or felt before. They truly are one of a kind. I had people texting me last night. What does it feel like? What does it look like? Like, how is it true? I'm like, it is amazing. It's the first time. The patches are super thick. And I tell people they got it perfect. And when I say that, the cardboard's not warped. You know how sometimes you can see it, you feel in the back, it's a warped card or it can bend. Yeah, it kind of like warps the cardboard. It's perfect. Whoever did this, shout out to them. Whoever came up with the idea, shout out to them. They made these cards so perfect. It was like I didn't want it to leave. And in fact, Sleevey left last night. Yeah, he leaves with all the shit, right? And he calls me, he goes, dude, I don't have the Maji. I go, what are you talking about? He goes, you never gave it to me. And it's sitting, I'm like, oh yeah, it's still right here. I want to stare at it all day. It's a beautiful card. And I've held the logo mans. But like you said, Alex, there's how many logo mans of each player? How many are you gonna fucking make
every year?
You know, so it's different. And go back, Ryan. I don't want to cut you off. I'm getting worked up and hyped.
Well, Alex, jump in.
I have 2 points with it though. One, if Topps is listening, don't make a minor league version of this because they make a minor league heritage and everything like that. Yeah. Don't do that. Don't do like first ever minor league game type of patch. Don't do it because it's going to ruin the whole concept, right? Yeah. Second, what do you think? Do you think this was the perfect product to put this in Topps Chrome update?
Okay,
we've debated this a lot.
I'm on the fence with this one because I could play devil's advocate on both sides of this. Okay, because you have a product like Update, which I don't normally rip. And I'm not even an advocate for. When that stuff normally comes out, I say, you guys go ahead and fucking rip those sticker autos. Go ahead. Chase them fucking stupid cards, right? But on the flip side, if they put that in Dynasty or Definitive or Diamond Icons, those products are already so expensive.
Yep.
It would pump those. The Dynasty boxes last year people were selling them for $1,100 and getting Whit Merrifield patch autos that sell for $50. Like they were getting railed, and if they put them in Dynasty, those boxes would be $1,500 minimum. I think it would have been a lot easier to hit, right? Because Dynasty is such a short run product. You would see, I think on opening day, you would see more of them, but at least it gives these guys an opportunity to buy a $70 team and hit a card like that. There's not that many products that you can say that, You
don't think it would have been fine just to save it for, the flagship Series 1?
That was going to be my recommendation.
Yeah. But then the checklist would have been a lot deeper, right?
Yeah, it would have, because you're adding
you're adding like, it would be like 2 classes of rookies essentially.
Yeah, I mean, well, that rookie, the Volpe, everybody else, that's the only card they have in there, right? That's the way I was thinking, it'd be Series 1. I mean, to your point, business aspect and everything, it is a product. Update is a product that doesn't sell.
Yeah.
Plain the real enthusiasts and stuff like that, especially Update Chrome, just don't go for it and everything. So business aspect, it's understandable putting it in there and pumping it up. I mean, people were doing 100 case breaks for the love of God and everything.
I know. Listen,
for a product that wouldn't normally be touched like that, right?
Oh, never. Listen, any 100 cases. I I told Filth Bomb Breaks ran a 100 case hobby.
Took them all.
I would rather shoot myself than open hot. We opened one case and I looked at him and I said, "This is 6-box cases, by the way."
It's
I looked at him, I
full
said,
compact.
"Never again." I
Yeah.
hate it.
My forearms hurt just thinking about it.
This patch, it's across all the platforms too, right? It's in
Yeah.
hobby, and
So
jumbo,
hobby and jumbo is redemptions.
in
Yeah.
in
In retail, it's in retail as a redemption. I scoped my Target this morning. It's not there yet.
if people haven't
Oh,
seen
really?
people haven't seen or heard the odds, the retail blasters of this is 1 in 400,000 packs.
So you're saying there's a chance? That's all I just heard.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna get them tomorrow.
So you're saying there's a chance?
I'm like, yeah.
I want everyone to be, cautious.
Realistic.
Going on whatnot. You're going on and you see in these blaster breaks of 10 blasters. Don't buy the Yankees for $100 fucking dollars.
No,
Yeah.
Because you can probably find it.
We say
Right.
that now. It's 100% gonna be in a blaster now.
You know what? I hope the Volpe is hit by like a 12-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Who went to
Yeah,
Target with his
yeah.
dad. His dad's not even a collector, right? I'll line this scenario up for you. His dad doesn't know nothing about cards, right? His son's like, "Hey, I want to rip this blaster," and he hits a Volpe redemption. That's what I want to see,
Yeah.
and that's coming from somebody who I want to pull them all on my channel, but I would rather see that to be that's such a great story
Oh, yeah.
to see.
So the other aspect of this whole thing, and I talked to Ryan about this yesterday, right? How do they decide which ones were live and which ones they made redemptions?
So I think they did,
Yeah, that's
and I'm going based off of people that I've talked to. They didn't want to do them live in hobby and jumbo because they were afraid the cards would be fucked up. I mean, the hobby packs
Yeah.
were super thin. The
Right.
corners and edges would have been done. At least in the light, they had the plastic, they have the thing.
It's
And
like
I don't know if you
tape-
saw the
it's taped
video.
around the
There was
plastic.
like
Yeah.
a certified tops tape, so that thing had no chance of opening or getting damaged. So
But
I think that was a smart thing to do. I know people are I think people are mad because, oh, well, why is it it's only in Breakers Delight, so Breakers are the only ones opening the opening. I
not
said,
true.
listen,
Listen.
everybody got break. It dropped on the website.
But how do you decide? How did they physically decide? Like, for the the side of people getting into breaks and stuff like that, I can see people being pissed. Like, what if you're getting into Breakers Delight and the Volpe's not in there because it's a redemption inside hobby or jumbo,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Aspect. I think the transparency of saying, okay, these are the ones out of the 91 that are actually in Breakers Delight, right? These are
I
the
agree with that.
right? Or in all the other products because they're redemptions. Because right now we have no clue, and you can be 0% chance of getting. People are buying the Pirates inside, hobby and jumbo and everything, and those, and they had no chance to
They
hit.
might not have a debut.
The
case.
Okay, so you could say that, but then there would be manipulation in the market on the box prices, right?
Yeah.
So as a breaker, if they came out and said, "Hey, Jordan Walker, Anthony Volpe, Senga, Yoshida, they're all in jumbo," like, oh fuck, I'm gonna buy all the jumbos then.
That's right.
And then people, I don't know. I feel like there'd be a division in the product, and I don't know if they would want that because they kind of want. I don't know. I'm trying to think of how they could do that without manipulating the market. Because if
They can't.
everybody knew Volpe was in Breakers Delight, they would go, oh, the Yankees are $400 in every break.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Hey, you want them, right?
I think they did the only manipulation that they could do legally that got their prices up across the board, right? Which is by putting these 91 random cards. If these cards didn't exist, even if there's just like one of them, like you're chasing the Ruth wannabe rookie 1 of 1. I'm just saying, like this. But because they put these 91 cards randomly inserted, like it is whoever created that at Topps, I hope they got a great Christmas bonus because they're going to be selling an unprecedented amount of this product because of just the addition of these cards. And to your point, I think if they did say like, hey, like here's what's in retail, it would have just caused anarchy. And I think the way they did it was the only way.
I have an idea of how they could do it.
Hopefully,
But
they
my
should have put the
point,
top 3.
it wasn't random because they made redemptions for the ones they knew they weren't putting in, and they put
Right.
Yeah.
live
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah.
How did they
So-
decide ones were going in and which ones they kept out.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with
This is
that.
where an addition of a third party,
Figuring
unbiased
out.
audit company can come in. Michael, I'm still talking to you. I could give you the number of E&Y and
Well, it's funny you say that. I'm joining the show right now.
Well, and we have Michael Rubin is patching in right now.
Right now. Actually, do you hear that? That's his helicopter right above us.
He's bringing Tom Brady with him. And hey, Tom, how's it going?
I mean,
Can I
I
smell
swear
your
that
underpants?
they're together all the time. Yeah.
Gazelle's here too. When
Oh
did
my
you guys
gosh.
get back together?
Oh, they're getting back together. That's dope.
What do you think? What do you guys think we could do collectively as even as breakers? Because I'll give you I'll give you things that we do. He sometimes he doesn't even know that I do. That it's not. I don't like to put it out there or like brag about it. When Bowman Draft comes out, I have 5-6 big customers that I've already said, hey, I don't care whatever the price is. I'm giving you cases at cost. So that's things that I'm trying to do to keep people that I know are spending money and their time and their hard, like their blood, sweat, and tears to put into products that they like and the players that they want to chase. That I'm trying to keep them excited and around. Where I literally would say, "Here, I will fucking send you a picture. This is what I paid. As long as just cover shipping and maybe throw him a bone if he's going to sit there and rip cases for you." That's the things that I'm trying to do, or give people, hey, this product's coming out. I'll give you the first fucking access to this product before anybody. Like you can take your shot, rip cases on the live first, and give them a good price point, or like I said, at cost. Like, what do you think collectively that breakers can do, or LCSs can do, or even Tops and Panini and flippers? Like, is there something that we can all do? Like, is it transparency? Is it just a full transparency across the board?
I think transparency is one thing that a lot of individuals don't have online, right? And so many people, it's giveaways. You see a million giveaways with across the board between so many different.
I'm running one right now. Get it before Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Mainly the breakers, right? They're like, we're giving away free cases of National Treasures. We're giving away this and that, thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of $1,000s worth of stuff. Where do you think that money comes from? It's not coming from their pocket, right? Yeah. It's not. It is because they have, say, 20 streams going at once, and the influx of them being able to manipulate people and whatnot to drive up prices and everything. And it's just that extra money. So when people are just dishing out freebies, you have to realize you're probably paying into that freebie. You just don't know it.
Yeah.
So it's always been like back to when we did back in the day, when we did group breaks, it was being transparent. Here's every cent from the shipping cost to the breaking down the top loaders and everything else, right? You are all paying for a specific small price for the break. Now, people understand you're a business. You still have to make some money, but you are, like I tell everybody, your LCS's, breakers online and stuff is a convenience. You're like a convenience store. I'll always use this analogy, right? Go to a grocery store and buy a gallon of milk for $1 something, right? Go to a gas station, a convenience store, you're buying it for $5, $6, $7.
Or DoorDash. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a premium. Yeah.
You can go buy on Blowout, go buy on DA Carwell, go buy those places where you can get boxes and wait the 5 days for it to come in, or just go to Daddy Rips, have them open it for you right there for just a smidge more, and you're into the product fast and quick.
Yeah, for sure.
And everything too, shipped to your doorstep right after you rip.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people out there. I've talked to some buyers that are like, "Hey, man, we want like complete hands off. I don't want to rip at home by myself. I don't want to open it like." And we kind of give them this like white glove, to use the Tops phrase, like the white glove treatment. Like this guy Buck, who comes and rips with us, as we're pulling cards for him, I'm snapping pictures for eBay and sending it to him, and he's literally posting them as we're ripping. Like,
that's a great service. Yeah, that's a great service.
And he loves it because he's like, hey, nobody else is willing to do this for me. You guys are willing to do this, so I'm going to spend money with you guys. I don't want to deal with it. You ship it to me, and by the time we ship him the cards, he's already selling them on eBay, shipping them off to the eBay buyers. So it's services like that that I feel like more people should do. And I've heard from other people who buy into a lot of breaks or spend a lot of money on boxes. They said a lot of these bigger breakers, they're just so far removed from their customers that there's no personal like relationship. There's nothing that they don't relate to these guys anymore because they just know like, hey, we fire this live on, we're gonna snap fill and we're gonna run the brakes and that's it. Like for us, I tell him every time, I'm like, I love the grind. I love when it's slow because when it's slow, guess what? I gotta fucking really bust my ass to get people in the live and sit there and grind and do a filler or whatever it might have to be to fill this breakup to kind of get things rolling. And I just feel like going above and beyond is just so much more. You have to these days. You have to separate yourself these days because if you don't, you're just another person. And
That's
someone's
right.
they're gonna go to another channel or they're gonna go to another person and find somebody that's willing to go above and beyond for them. And I think that's something that we have to have in this hobby. We have to be able to see these people who are putting their money into the hobby, whether it's breaks, whether it's cards, whether it's shows, whether it's whatever it is, whatever we want to collect, helmets and jerseys and posters, tickets. Take those people. We have to preserve those people. Those people have to be preserved. Whatever we have to do. Because once those people start dropping off, that's when the shows are going to decrease. That's when people are going to spend less money. That's when the auction houses are going to have less big cards because people are like, I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to sell to that guy. I'm going to sell this guy privately. And so it all comes into that, like just taking care of each other and building up as a community as one instead of like this animosity towards people. I mean, we've got fucking hate DMs over pulling that card. Like it's fucking
insane.
wild, dude. It's
That's insane.
wild.
And to your point, there's just so much to go around that what is it? I saw Forbes did a write-up on our industry. It's like 4 or 5 years ago. And they were talking about it as a $4 billion a year industry. And I'm sure it's higher than that now. There's so much for everyone to go around. I think you just hit the nail on the head. I think there's a lot of people that I've even started that I used to be friends with that I have since severed ties just because it's like there's no room in this industry or in your life for king of the hill mentality. Like you can still crush it out there. One of the greatest things about what kept Alex and I involved in YouTube for so long before whatever it's morphed into today, because it's not the same thing. But back in the day, you used to be able to like send people DMs. Like it was so easy to just develop friendships. We refer to it as the community literally all the time. It's like whenever we were talking about the card collecting community on YouTube, we just the community. And there would be like annual awards, and it was just such a totally different, more wholesome place because it was just about relationships and less about just purely the transaction. The transactions will happen. It's a byproduct. Like the friendship should be first, and then like business and shows and all these other things are all cool byproducts that come from. There's just a lot of good people in this hobby, and you have to do whatever you can. Like I give out a shit ton of free cards every show that I'm at. Price your stuff right. Bring good conversation. Come to break bread and make new friends, and that's it. And if we had everyone in the room that was like that, it would just be a much better place. But it's not the case right now.
I like that. I try to give away as much stuff at like shows. I'll buy blasters and megas and just hand them out to kids. And I'm not trying to do it for content either. I'm not videotaping just like here you go, here you go, here you go. I don't even have a collection anymore. And I'm not saying this to be. Hold on. I'm not saying this to be like to brag. Okay,
right.
Because Sleevey has said, dude, you've literally lost everything because if someone came in and ripped a case and they got wrecked, this is in the last 4 years. Someone came in, I would literally throw them $500 slabs, $1,000 slabs, and I don't own a single card anymore, and I'm a collector. It's because every time I get a card, and he'll tell you this, every time I get a card or buy a card, it's fucking gone in a week because I'm like, I'm gonna bounty this. Oh, hey, if we hit a gold auto or an orange auto in this break, this bounty, and guarantee 90% of the time the fucking bounty hits. And it's great because people are like, oh shit, he's giving away this $500 card. But I don't. That's why I don't have a collection anymore. And I think that's needed more. Like I'm a collector at heart, but I can't collect anymore because every time I buy a card, it's gone.
Or
like
once.
Yeah.
What was that?
got to find a collection that no one wants.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
I hear Jeff Wilson's giving away all of his Will Greer.
Oh, I was hoping to get to some Jeff Wilson NFTs, you know?
Yeah. He's getting rid of all of it. I think it's hysterical that but to your point, you can, like he's saying, like, I'm giving this stuff away, but I'm like he's a smart guy. He's writing that off on his taxes. It's a loss.
Aspect of the friendships, yes, they've always, and I've told Ryan this, I've told so many people, like, it's a dilemma of like, I want a cameraman there filming. I don't want him filming me doing a $1,000 deal. I want him filming me talking to the kids, talking to the parents that just getting into it, giving them the education, as much as I have, over the past decade plus that seeing in the hobby, showing people like, hey, the odds and, knowing, hey, this card being in a mag, right? Because it's a chrome card, the surface might get scratched up if it's in there. Put it in a sleeve and a top loader instead. Even though it's a $1,000 card, it's actually more protected in this way than this way, but just because it looks nice and a magnetic. That type of, that's the content that, like, the dilemma for me having a cameraman's there, because I don't also want to be that person, like you said, having a camera on me all the time, because I just want to do the interactions. But for your aspect as a breaker, one thing I really, really, really despise, because I get into a lot of breaks all over all the platforms and everything, is listening to the breakers complain that they're not hitting their mark. Yelling at the screen, you got to get this up, you got to get this up and everything, right? I'm trying to get it for cheap as possible. I'm in your room trying to get something, to get into a break. Do you think I want to pay 3 times the cost? No.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So don't yell at me. You think you're going to keep me around if you just like, guys, you got to get the prices up. You got to get the price. Set the price at where you need to be and let it go from there, not $1 and let it run and go for $3.
Yeah, I made that mistake yesterday, by the way.
Hey, we didn't yell.
We didn't yell. I
and
ran
you kept your shirts on.
I ran a case of Delight.
Shirts on.
We ran a case of Delight at $1.
Better bids though.
And ran it for all 30 teams. I literally told everyone in the chat, I said, guys, our cost is $80 a team. Like, that is our cost. I'm just letting you know that. Like, bid what you guys want. One bid went over 80. Everything else was between 45 and $65. Mm-hmm. And then I had I can't remember who DM'd me. Oh man, I'm so mad. Someone DM'd me on the side and goes, "Hey man, I'm bidding just because I know, I feel your pain. Like I see these fucking bids like so low." I was like, you know what, dude, it's fine. Like I'm glad people got in. They were getting in for half the price of what the teams are going for. Screw it. Like, who cares? Like, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Hey, we're fucking fine. Right?
We're fucking fine.
We're fucking fine.
End of the day, though, those same guys came back later on Instagram and bought spots in those breaks later. You know what? And it works out. It's a full circle of everything too.
Yes. So why we're fucking fine is because our card industry is really a house of cards. And the moment that people can appreciate the entire ecosystem, I say this often, that like, without the breakers, right? Credit to you guys. Without breakers, there wouldn't be as many singles floating around the hobby, right? Without the consumer, like me on the other end, like, you wouldn't be as fit. Like, everyone just needs to stay fed. Everyone needs to respect each other. Like, the card shops are coming out, like Burbank saying, like, hey, we need to provide liquidity, because without liquidity, like, that's one more piece of this puzzle that without it, it doesn't have as prosperous of a future. So I joked about it's a house of cards, but like, you take the breakers out, this thing falls. You take out grading, this thing falls. They're all very important key components at this point that everyone just needs to be good to each other in some way, shape, or form, and realize that, like, okay, but more transactions, begat a lot of other things.
Yeah. I want to say something too. The fanatics, the interjection with fanatics into the hobby, we're seeing things that we would have never seen before because of the hype around certain things and how they're sort of like presenting the one-of-one patch autos. We had Nick Birdie, who is a pitcher for the Cubs. He saw us hit the card on Instagram, followed us, and then was in our breaks within the hour.
That's amazing.
And we've never been able to do that. Like, I have friends who are in the majors right now, who are in the bigs. They're not into cards, But now I told him he came in. I was like, dude, that's Nick Birdie, dude. The guy's he's a fucking pitcher on the Cubs, man. He's like, oh, I fucking don't know. I got
too much shit going on.
Yeah.
He's a huge Cubs fan, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Well, I reached out to him. I'm trying to get him on the pod, so we'll see.
All right, just give him my number and everything.
Well, you know what? I want to end on we're fucking fine. I want to end on that. I think this was good. I think we went over an hour. I think this might be our longest podcast, by the way.
Our longest one.
Good. It's great. Yeah. I want to have you guys on again. I think it's good stuff. I think we should retouch on the hobby things periodically, maybe every couple months, talk about new things, talk about new products, see like the progression from this podcast and our conversation now until maybe within 6 months, and see. And if we can touch on other things, and Alex can go, yeah, well, the fucking Tops is doing the right thing. Fanatics is they're listening. I hope you're listening. Tops, Fanatics, listen to me. Listen to us.
Yes,
I might be a little dumb, but I'm sometimes smart, you know?
Yeah. When is the bounty for the Wemby Super Auto from Bowman Chrome U going to come out? That hasn't been pulled yet.
That's pretty crazy.
You know, I'm just saying.
I don't know. I think it's maybe I should start buying some boxes of that. So
we talk about it almost every week. Yeah, and I agree with you. I think especially over the next couple of years, as Fanatics really gets their talons in on what they're trying to do, and they're going to iterate over and over and over again. I think it's going to be a pretty interesting and cool moving target over the next couple of years. So I think we'll have plenty to talk about every other month if you want to bring us back.
Well, let's do it. Let's just
figure out if the supers are going to be worth more than debuts here.
We'll find out. We'll find out real soon.
Ooh, I'm excited. All right.
Let's try. What we'll do? We'll have you guys back on like the beginning of the year. So like January, we'll have you guys back on. We'll kind of retouch and not touch like that, but we'll retouch on some things.
Oh, I feel that.
It's actually good because you got a Dolphins sweatshirt on, and maybe by that time the Dolphins will probably it'll be playoff time, and we can talk about football and get into some other stuff. So
hell yeah.
I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys coming on, man. I really do.
Thanks for having us.
Are you going to be at Culture Collision?
When is that?
January what was it? 24th-ish?
Oh, you know what? I probably will. I probably will because I talked to Polwax, Mikey at Polwax. He's been wanting to do like a collab. We've been trying to do a collaboration with baseball. They're not the biggest, like they're not massive in baseball, but they are getting there. They're getting their breakers and stuff. So I told them, I was like, let's do something big. And so yeah, I probably will be down there. I've never been, so I heard it's fun.
Neither have we. And guess what? We'll be there.
All right, let's do it.
Sweet.
Let's share a couple beds together at the Coulter Collision.
Only one.
Yeah.
Only one.
Yeah. A queen too. Queen size.
Queen size. Slumber parties.
Hell yeah.
I'll go meet.
Daddy chill. Daddy chill. Daddy chill. Please, Daddy chill.
All right, guys. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you guys.
We'll talk to you guys later.
Thank you.